Perfect.
That people are saying in the YouTube comments, well, my Krav Makido coach told me that's not the way, and you're wrong, and I'm right. You know, you heard this whole thing.
Well, I got in an argument with someone once. Right, can you see my hand there, Claire? I punch with these two knuckles. Right, I'm trying to get a good camera angle for you. These two knuckles. Right,
Yeah.
I always punch with them. Someone argued you should always punch this way with these three. And apparently Bruce Lee said that, so it must be, the word of God. I mean, that's why it's like the Bruce Lee Bible on how to punch using just like a sort of a hip movement. But if you look at that, these two bones here, Ramsey, are very weak. These two are very weak, but they're stronger than these two very, very weak ones. So I would always choose to hit. My knuckles have developed over the years, so they're both like breeze blocks now. But stuff like that, and they would argue, and they'd use a Bruce Lee movie as a reference, or they'd say, well, my coach has done nothing in his life, teaches at a school hall, and has to rent that out for £12.50 an hour. Knows better than you do, that's trained all over the world and learned off the best coaches. But what do I know, eh?
Yeah, man, if you want to start a giant argument in the comment section of a YouTube video, just make a video about the difference between 2-knuckle contact and 3-knuckle contact, and you can be as gracious as you want to be. You can take no stand whatsoever, and just pointing out the fact that there's a difference between 2-knuckle and 3-knuckle contact, the comment section will explode.
Yeah.
Very aggressively, too.
The thing is, the physiological, sort of like the actual data of how the skeleton works shows that it's these two which are the strongest bones. Especially if you do like the point style punch, in the way that these two bones directly link up with the radius and the ulna of your arm. So any punch has essentially stronger bones directly behind it. If you punch with these two, the bones, the way they position, they shoot off and they don't directly align up with the radius and the ulna, which is why you get a lot of small fractures in your wrist and in your fingers.
Kinetic is the word Joe wants to look for.
Yeah.
Kinetic.
Kinetic
all of this
power.
in line, solid.
Same reason why when you throw a hook punch, you get your elbow up. So you put it's not this, which has nothing behind it, it's that, which has your weight of your body behind it. It's something so simple, but yeah, people want to believe what they want to believe, I guess. And they won't
and the thing about 3-knuckle contact, which is, it's fascinating, but it's often taught wrong by the people who espouse it, is that it's not so much the knuckles making contact in these arts like Wing Chun as they are supposed to be taught, or even the way Jack Dempsey taught 3-knuckle contact back in 1920. It's the idea of soft weapons against hard targets versus hard weapons against soft targets. So if you look at the two big knuckles, these are hard weapons. Use them against soft targets, if we're talking about bare knuckle fighting anyway. So punching like here, punching in the nose, punching in the eyes, punching in the soft parts of the face, that's ideal. With this, it's more akin to, and not just the knuckles, but the whole part of the finger. This is a soft weapon, not a hard one. So if you look at somebody who's actually good at Wing Chun, and there's so many bad ones, I have met a couple of guys who are actually pretty decent at Wing Chun over here in China. One of them was actually from Germany. And when I saw him doing chain punches for the first time, he's essentially slapping with the front of his hand, not just the knuckles, but the whole front of the hand, the bottom 3 fingers. And it was more like rapid-fire framing than punching, not so much to do damage, but to change position, which is barely ever taught. It's a weird thing. It's one of those things you'd have to see, but when people start talking about punching like this is the same as that's just blatantly not true at all. No. Like 2-knuckle contact is exclusively to cause damage, whereas 3-knuckle contact has got a very different objective.
For a sport application.
Anyway, that's me nerding out on traditional martial arts for a bit, but yeah.
For a sport application,
totally different objectives.
For a sport application like what we all train, obviously you want to make these knuckles as hard as you can because you are repeatedly hitting someone. A normal person that does self-defense, they don't need to condition their hands for that one time they get very unlucky and get in a fight. In that case, hit whatever knuckle you can, just make connection and get the hell out of there. But obviously if you are repeatedly punching and punching and punching for years and years and years, you want to make sure you're hitting with the right part.